Hey, you can't squat to depth? I don't know why this is such a weird topic that so many people have a million opinions on whether or not, oh, some people can't squat to depth. And it's like, well, maybe. Maybe there are some people out there with hip morphology that prevents them from squatting to depth. However, the majority of people can squat to depth, and we're going to touch on how you can squat to depth. Oftentimes I find that it's really just a mechanics issue. People just aren't putting themselves in the proper position. Either their feet are too narrow or they're too wide. I mean, I can't squat to depth if I stand too wide. But you guys have seen me. I share all my workouts on Instagram, and, I squat down till my butt touches the back of my shoes. So it's not because I can't get down there. It's because if I stand too wide, then I can't get down there, right? And I've been super open about this. I have FAI, it's femoroacetabular impingement, in both hips. I have both the pincher form and what's the other one, camber. So apparently I have the worst scenario you could possibly have. I have both types of FAI in both hips, and both of my hip labrums are torn. It's called hockey hips. So I'm sure playing hockey for 17 years didn't do me any favors. But I've seen, I went to Burke and Bradley, and if you guys know who those surgeons are, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. And they basically said, yeah, you just destroyed your hips from all the years of hockey. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? And they were like, nothing, just keep squatting. Best advice anyone ever gave me. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is that you probably can hit depth. Now, here's a tip, and I think I learned it from Matt Venna, but I can't remember necessarily who said it to me. I think that's who said it. And it's really simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to something, and you're going to squat. Now, if you can hit depth holding on to something to support yourself and assist yourself, you have the mobility to squat to depth. You just don't have the stability and the strength. And this is a common issue. A lot of people, they can't get down because they don't have the stability or they don't have the strength to get into that position. And of course, your body tries to prevent you to get into positions that you can't get out of. So hold on to something, do it like a Hatfield squat, but like body weight. And you're gonna just hold on to something and squat down. And if you can get down to, below 90 degrees, I'm not talking butt to your ankles, I'm talking just depth. Like, did your hip crease go below your knee? Because that's all the deeper you need to go for, powerlifting squats or for it to count. I mean, it's squatting below parallel. Squatting below parallel does not mean that your butt has to touch the back of your shoes. But the point being, can you squat to depth? If you hold on to something and support yourself and assist yourself, you probably can squat to depth. In which case, all you need to do at this point is just work on stability and work on strength. And a great way for you to do that is to do hand-assisted, hand-supported squats. If you do enough of them, eventually you'll be able to do them without using your hands. Yeah, trust me on this. I have worked with women in their 70s. Yeah, and we just did a body weight Hatfield squat. Just hold on to something and squat down. And after enough reps of it, they were like, I don't even need to hold on anymore. And it's like, that's fantastic. Now we can put a barbell on you. Okay? So there's number one. Number two, I'm going to share something that I learned from John Welborn years ago. Gosh, I feel like it was maybe 2008, 2009. And John was teaching the squat, and he made this point. You're going to push your big toe into the ground, right? And you're going to externally rotate your hips. So basically, you're going to push your knees out. I know everyone says, don't push your knees out. Well, some people need to. So, not only are we not going to squat with our feet perfectly straight ahead, we're going to have our feet shaped like a V. You're going to push your big toe into the ground, and you're going to externally rotate. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say it. Ed Cohn, open your taint. That's how Ed Cohn phrased it. So I'm quoting him directly. That isn't a Chadism. That's Ed Cohn, cue, open your taint. Yeah, you're going to open your legs up. Okay? So push your big toe into the ground and open your legs nice and wide, pushing those knees out, externally rotating the hips, and magically you can hit depth. Huh. Okay. Now the final issue being ankles. And some people really do have bad ankles because they've had enough injuries that their ankles are super stiff. A lot of people think they have poor ankle flexion, and they actually don't. Like, I have them go up to a wall and measure it off, and it's like their knee is a good 2 inches over their toe. So no, that isn't the issue, because you can get your knee way over your toe whenever you lunge. You just can't get there when you squat. Well, if you just can't get there when you squat, it's probably the stability issue back or a strength issue. You know, your quads are just too weak or something. And so, you know, in those cases, those people have more than adequate ankle mobility. But some people really do have poor ankle mobility. And the easiest thing to do here, I know you're not going to like it, elevate your heels. Okay? So slant boards are fine. You can put your feet on top of like a bumper plate even. You know, just put your heel up on the edge of something. And what's nice about using plates is you can start off like a 45, which is going to feel like doing a hack squat machine. And then, you know, you go to a 25 bumper, and then maybe you go to like change plates, you know, like a 10-pound change plate or a 5-pound change plate. And you just keep making it lower and lower and lower over time, because when you squat, folks, this is unpopular because we don't like the word stretch-mediated hypertrophy, but squatting is stretching under load. So when you do your squats and you progressively lower the heel elevation, over time, you're actually going to develop ankle flexibility. So elevating your heels is a great way to start, and then slowly over time, you just continue to lower that elevation. And eventually, you will actually build that range of motion in your ankles. So that's how you can squat to depth. Those are some just 3 easy tips for you to squat to depth. Nothing magical there. Now, I could probably go into a whole bunch of other things about like hip morphology and, you know, anterior graded and retrograded and all this other crap like that, and how many degrees of rotation you have at the knee. Some people have as much as 15 degrees of rotation at the knee, which is impressive. You know, ankles, etc. You know, these things are not hinge joints. They actually do rotate a bit. You know, in the navicular drop, you know, your tibia actually can rotate inward. Yeah, I know people people are shocked when they find that out. What, my tibia is rotating inward? Yes. So anyways, there's a whole bunch of other stuff to this, but, you know, these are the basic things that will fit 99% of people. So, you know, I just handed 99% of people the secret for them squatting to depth. Some of you may have orthopedic issues, and that's going to be, you know, complicated, but I mean, I kind of do a video on every single orthopedic issue in existence. I can't. So this will help 99% of people. If it helps you, give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, I never ever say that in my videos, and no one ever gives me thumbs ups. So I'm going to start saying that. Give me a thumbs up if this helps you.